Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. It is May 10th. It is kind of balmy out there, but it is definitely feeling like spring. And as spring moves along, we get more and more interesting guests in here. And right now, I have a couple of milestones I've hit tonight. Number one, I have this young lady here, and as you can see, she is young. She, I believe, is, how old are you?
7.
7. She's 7. This is Molly Jane McCarthy. She's an actress. She is now officially my youngest Topic Time guest in history, even though she's 2 years older than the 5-year-old I had on 5 years ago, who's now 10. If you guys can follow along with that logic, right? And your mother brought her in tonight, and I think what you're looking at is one of the the new superstars of Hollywood, soon to be. She's already signed with, from what I understand. She has an agent in Boston. She's going to be signing with an agent in New York. And you wouldn't know it by looking at her, but she's got an amazing demo reel. I saw some of it. And I only say that because it is unusual when I have people on, as young as she is, but it's always an awesome experience because I get a chance to, what I ask every guest is, no matter how young or old, is what were you like as a kid? Well, now it's easy because you are a kid. And when did you start acting? So let's get right to that. Tell me about, take your time and think this through. How did you break into acting?
My mom
Yep.
said to me, do I want to go to an audition? And I said yes.
Okay.
I went there and I got a part in The Extraordinary World of Cecily Blinks.
All right, you just see this. This was, I see it. That's The Extraordinary World of Cecily Blinkstop. Now, is that a film that's premiering tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, do you know where it will be premiering?
Yes.
You want to tell me where? Maybe I want to see it. So,
I think.
if you're not sure, you said you know, but if you don't know the name if you can't remember the actual name of the theater, that's fine. We'll get it later. But that is important though, because tomorrow is the premiere of this film that she's in, The Extraordinary World of Cecily Blinkstop. If you're not sure, do you know where it's premiering or not? If not, we'll just talk about the film itself and what you play in it.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, tell me about you played a little girl named Jennifer Potts, right? Okay. Well, without giving too much away, you want to talk about what you did in the film exactly, or just give a little idea. Give us a little idea.
So I was an imaginary friend in that film.
You were somebody else's imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Another child, imaginary friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this little girl asked for a friend, and then I was on stage, and here's the cool thing. I did not speak in any part of it. I just act because the little girl could hear me, but no one else.
Okay, that's kind of cute. So you were an imaginary friend of a little girl who didn't speak, but only she could hear you. Okay, so this is kind of like a child's film. It's like and all right. Now, when did you remember how long ago you shot this and how long it took them to do your part for the film?
I think it was 5 days.
5 days, yeah.
For me.
You know how long
And,
ago? About like
I
a
think
year.
like a year, yeah.
Yeah, really? Okay. So you were on set for 5 days. Do you remember where they shot it?
At the director's house.
Okay. Do you remember? Was it in Boston, or do you remember what city or town it was in? If not, that's fine.
It was not Boston.
Was it in this area near New England there, in Massachusetts?
No, I don't think so.
You don't remember? Okay, that's fine. Well, okay, so you have a whole slew of projects here. Now, this morning on Facebook, I shared American prophet Joseph Smith, and there was a scene you played little Julia Murdoch Smith, right? And you knocked on the door, and I saw that. We shared that on Facebook, and it was great. You had no reservations about doing it. You pulled it off beautifully. You didn't look scared. You just did it without blinking. So you want to tell me a little about that film, and we're going to talk about everything that you've done here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, go ahead.
So I had to say in that film, there's a meeting up there, and so that girl looked up there and then I came running back just to see another neighbor.
Okay.
So,
When you knocked on the door, you were pointing up at a church, right?
yeah.
Okay, why? What were you supposed to be seeing up in the church?
There was a meeting of angels.
There were angels?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't recall seeing angels in the clip, but that's because it was too short, right? If we looked at the whole film, we would have seen angels, right?
No.
Well, okay. Well, why then? Why wouldn't we have seen them? Because you were the only one seeing them? Is that Is that the way it was supposed to be?
Well, we couldn't see the angels because there was no angels up there.
Oh, okay. So you
we were just
okay.
pretending, yeah.
But it looked like you were a little girl. You had a vision, kind of. Okay, that's cool. And so you have fun doing that. Now, how long have you been doing films now for? About a year or two?
A year, 2 months.
How long? A year and 2 months? Or
Yeah, a year and 2 months.
Okay. Now, tell me about you have an agent in Boston, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about the agent. And then we're going to talk about, you just signed with a new agent. Your mom said that you're bi-coastal now.
Yeah.
And that other new agent's in New York. Let's talk about the one in Boston. Obviously, they've already gotten you quite a bit of work, right? Okay. And so tell me about, you want to talk about the agent, the person?
Yeah.
Well, just,
Yeah, so the name of the agent is called Model Club.
Okay, I know Model Club. Cool. You must be one of the youngest clients. But I hear a lot of good things about them. I've interviewed some people that have used them as well, before. And they get people a lot of good opportunities. They've gotten you a lot of good projects, haven't they?
Yeah.
Wow. And so how do you bide your time between school and your films? How do you do you do films on the weekend?
No, my school just lets me go out for my acting because the school knows that I'm acting. So
Your school does what?
the school knows that I'm acting.
Okay. They know that you're acting, but you still have to do your work and your studies and stuff.
Yeah, so they have a pile on my desk each day, and I have to work on that.
Okay. Well, how are your grades? Are they good? I bet you're
Yeah,
probably
they're good.
smart. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about some of your other projects here. 8, young Sarah. Did you work with Mila Hudson?
Yeah.
Oh, she's great, isn't she? I interviewed Mila. Was she in New York when you interviewed her? When you worked with her?
Thanks.
Yeah. Wow. How's she doing? She was
Good.
She was one of my. She came all the way up from New York to be on my show back like 4 years ago, and she produced the film herself, right? Wow. Well, if you see her again, tell her I said hi. She had a great time. We had a lot of good views on our show.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Well, who did you play? Did you play a young girl named Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, 8 years old, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Even though you're not 8 yet, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously. What was that like? What were you supposed to be in that?
Well, I was a little girl
Yep.
that parents were having a fight,
Yep.
and I was not getting really treated nicely inside the movie,
Yep. I understand.
and yeah, so
Okay, so I understand. So there was a lot of conflict in the film.
yeah,
Okay, but was that a hard role for you?
yeah,
Was it? Okay. You prefer, but as you get older, the more roles you get, you're going to find yourself that there are going to be some roles like that that aren't, that are going to be conflicting, because the American public likes that in films, and they don't care how young or old you are either. Okay, I mean, but you understand that. I mean, and these are the things that you must discuss with your agent when you talk to them, right? Okay. All right. Let's look at this next one. Executrix. My bad. Was this an animated thing? It says voice. Is this a
Yeah.
cartoon?
no, it's not a cartoon.
Okay. Well, who's Jordan? It says Jordan voice in parentheses. You were Jordan?
Yes,
Okay. Well, how come it says voice here? What does that mean?
because there was a girl that didn't really know how to speak English, and I had to do a voiceover for her.
Oh, you did voiceovers in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That must have been. Now, did that take longer than most of the films that you've done?
No, it took like 1 day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it would, because you've only, all you got to do is read from a script.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this: when you have a film project, do they give you the script to take home and you go over it with your parents?
Yeah.
You have to rehearse
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Okay, and are you really, and how long does it usually take you to memorize a script?
Depends like how long is
Depends
the
how long it
script.
is.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. What was the longest film you've been in? How long was it? I mean, was it a full-length feature, like over an hour?
Yes, I think it was Telltales.
It was which?
Telltales.
Oh yeah, okay. You were Sally.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So and so you had to memorize the script for that. That must have taken you a while to memorize it, right? Okay. And where did do you remember? Well, tell me about Sally. What were you playing in Sally?
So it was a horror movie.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was the main character, and my hand was a werewolf. And
You what was a werewolf?
My hand.
Your hand?
Yeah, my hand.
Whew. Wow, they've already gotten you some pretty sticky stuff in films, haven't they? That's great. Yeah. How did they do that must have been crazy. How did they do the special effects for that?
So a guy just like painted my hand, and he made like fake nails, and he glued the nails on.
Okay. Wow, that must have been fun though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Do you remember where they shot that by any chance? Was it around here?
I think it was around here somewhere.
Okay. It sounds like did you have to howl at the moon? Did you hand howl at the moon? That's what werewolves usually do when it's full.
No, they didn't howl at the moon, but at the end, I had to look at the.
You had to look at the moon.
Yeah.
Did they shoot it at night?
No, they made like a black sheet with
Oh wow.
one of the lights, so it looks like the moon shine.
So I understand. Okay. Now, do you have to? I'm just wondering. Do you do all your work during the day, or have you ever shot at night before? Or doesn't it matter? I'm just wondering if someone as young as you're probably not out late too often. I would assume that most of your stuff is done during the day, right?
Well, Telltales, it kind of takes like a couple hours a night.
Okay, that's good. So
I kind of sleep in the car one.
yeah, oh yeah, you got to get your sleep in. All right, now this one here, I'm looking at Collapse, Young Justine. What was that about? What was you played a girl named Young Justine?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you played a girl, the young self of a girl who was older. So there was another person who played the older self, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how old was the older self supposed to be? That's pretty cool.
I don't.
Like a teenager?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Like a teenager.
Like somebody, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you played, that is kind of funny because someday I assume that a film like that is going to get that other girl a lot of credits because she's probably an adult, and you're the only one that ever played a young person, a younger self of an older person in a film. That's a pretty cool project to have. That's always going to look good on your IMDb page, and people are going to say as long for the next few years, if they need someone to play a younger self of somebody older, you'll be available. I'm sure you killed it. Okay, our Park Bench, young Lila. I'm just looking at these names to see if there's anyone else I know that produced. I don't see any other names. All right, what was that, young Lila? Who were you?
So, I was the main character, and there is also like an adult, a teenager version of me.
Okay, I see. So you played someone else's younger self in this film too, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're pretty good at that. Well, that's awesome. Let me ask you something. Do you do anything other? I ask everybody this that I interview that's in films. Do you sing, dance? Do you play any musical instruments?
I do a musical instrument.
What?
And I play the piano.
You play the piano?
Yeah.
Cool. Is that so you play the piano?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you ever apply that to any of your films? Have you ever played a piano in any of your films?
No.
Would you think you're good enough to do it eventually?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. So when you talk to your agent, do you tell them, hey, I can play the piano. Why don't you give me a role where I can play the piano? Would you dare say something like that just to make it
Yeah, we could.
use your own, give them your opinion and make sure that they know where you're coming from?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, now talk about you were in some commercials too, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm wondering if I've seen any of these. Where are these commercials done in Boston or around here? Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Boston. Somewhere around.
Love Pop cards. So you were a child receiving a card Is that right? You received a greeting card? Was it a birthday card?
It was not a birthday card. It was like a card, and one of them, they had like a tree inside,
Okay.
and it like popped up when you opened it.
Well, that's great. Yeah, that must have been fun. Yeah. I'm just wondering, this commercial aired on Boston television, right?
Yeah.
Great. Hannaford Supermarket. You were a child in a supermarket. There's a Hannaford's right. There's about 5 of them right in the area. Did you actually film that at a Hannaford's?
No.
No?
No, it was, I think, I was playing soccer when the mom got some groceries from
Okay.
Hannaford's. So.
Oh, okay. So you weren't even in the store. You were out there playing. Oh, so you played a
there
child
playing.
whose mother was getting groceries.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a truck that came and gave her the groceries.
Okay. So what happened? She came and gave you something to eat after you were playing soccer. Here's something. She said, "Here, have something refreshing because you're hot. You've been playing soccer." Is that what it was? Something like that?
No, it was just she was getting the food, and then my friend and me were playing soccer,
Okay.
and that was the end of the commercial. And then,
Well, that's good. I'll have to look for those. All right. Now, Vermont Smoke and Cure. That sounds like it must have been like bacon, right?
yeah,
okay.
it was meat.
I'm a vegan, so I don't eat meat. But you played a kid in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've already got. Let me just look here. So talk about now tomorrow. The big film's coming out. You must be totally thrilled to see it. Obviously, you got. I'm sure. So how do you how do you know when are they going to tell you where you're not sure where it's premiering, but you're going to go see it anyway. You'll know by tomorrow where it's premiering, and I'm gonna find out too. In case I want to go see it, if I have time, I'll definitely will. And this is the longest film you've been in. It's your first big feature, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All the other films you've been in were shorter ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So after this film premieres, what's on tap for the next few months for you? Summer's coming up. Do you have any films lined up for the summer?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay. But you expect they'll be calling you pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So aside from acting, what else do you do for fun? Do you play sports at all? Do you like taking walks? I see you like to dance. I saw that in your video yesterday.
I do like to dance.
Yep.
And I play sports, and I play soccer.
You play
so,
soccer?
yeah.
Okay. Do you play like school soccer for your school?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I also do running.
You do
In the
running.
park, yeah.
So you like jogging or track running?
So there was like a track, and we had to loop, and then we get a ribbon at the end.
Yeah, you look very fit, I have to say. So, and you have a coach or anything?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well that's good because obviously you got to be careful out there on the track. But that's so you're obviously you're fit, you're in good shape, and do you have I'm just wondering, do you have people that have you ever taken any acting courses prior to getting any of these roles somewhere?
No.
You haven't, okay. So you just basically winged it. You just had it. They asked you to audition, you did, and boom, you had a part.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 8. You have 8 parts plus those 3 commercials. Okay. Now talk about your mom said you had 2 twin brothers too. They're in acting also.
Yeah.
Have you ever acted with them?
No, I don't.
Okay. What have they done yet? What have they done so far? Do you know? Have they done anything that's? She said they were extras in something.
Yeah. So. My brother named Brady, he did a background in a movie.
Do you know what movie it was?
I think it was.
If you don't know, that's fine. But
Wait, I know it, but I just forgot it.
now I'm going to ask you a question that's it's a little bit more advanced because I like to, you're 7 years old, but even so, you got a great career ahead of you in this industry. Have you ever tried writing something like a script, a movie script yourself?
No.
You haven't, okay? Because some people I talk to say they started writing when they were young. Would you ever consider it? I mean, based on the stuff that you've done so far, would you ever sit back? Did you ever sit back with a pen or at a typewriter or at a word processor and think, hey, these are all written by somebody, and and I get to be in it. Maybe I can write something, and other people can star in it too. Would you ever think of doing that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really want to do
Yeah, I mean, I know you're young and everything, but considering what you've done already, you must have a lot of ideas rolling around in your brain. You might want to, try that. It might be kind of, not, you got to do your homework first. You got to make sure you get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But summer's coming again, like I said, and then you'll be out of school. What are you, in second grade now?
Yeah,
Second grade, okay. And do you like school? I mean, what do the other kids think you're having an actress in their midst? How do they like that?
Well, they really like that because no one else in the school has an actress inside their class.
There you go. Have you ever been interviewed by, I know this is your first TV show, right? It's your first TV interview.
Yeah.
It is. So, but have you ever been interviewed like in the local newspapers?
Well, I was in the newspaper, but I didn't interview.
Why were you in the paper?
Because they found out that I was doing that extraordinary world of Cecily Blinkstop, and then they put my picture on the newspaper, and then they wrote all about it.
Was it the Brockton Enterprise or was it the Boston papers?
I think it was the Boston, I think.
Really? Wow.
The Boston or the...
So your picture was on the paper, right?
Yeah.
Because you were in the film.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you have an interview to talk about. So let's just go over this again. So tomorrow it's going to be you play Amanda Jane, and that's a little girl, and just talk about the role a little bit more, because I want to know I want the people that are watching the show. I mean, even if they don't get to see it tomorrow, I'm sure if it premieres tomorrow, it's still going to be playing like in 2 or 3 weeks. So what can they expect to see from you when they see that film, when they see The Extraordinary World of Cecily Blinkstop?
They might see me making paper trains.
Okay. Paper trains?
Cranes.
Trains like choo-choo trains?
No, it's not that. It's like a type of bird. Cranes.
Oh, okay, like a type of bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have speaking roles in all these films, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you had one in the American Prophet that I saw this morning. Okay. Well, that's great. So that's what they're gonna look forward to seeing. Now, tell me about this new agent you're gonna be hooking up with someone in New York who's bi-coastal, and eventually, do you think you'll be going out to Hollywood and doing films out there?
Yeah.
Yes.
So when I get older.
What's that?
I think so when I'm gonna get older.
That's awesome. So are you excited about doing that?
Yeah.
That's great, because I can't wait to see. These are the years that I'm looking forward to saying, she was on my show at 7 and look at it today. Because this is, tonight, you're making history here tonight with me, because I guarantee you, I can just about guarantee that after you do my show and thousands of people see this, that there are going to be other people in agencies that want to talk to you. I can't guarantee it, but I think there's a good chance, because a lot of my guests have these things happen once they leave the set with interviewing with me. It's been known to happen. We call it the topic time blessing. Okay, so when you went back? So is that why you went to New York like 2 weeks ago? I was supposed to have you on like 2 weeks ago, but you had to go to New York.
Yeah.
So you had to meet with that other agent, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Now I know. Have you ever done any modeling at all? I know you're 7, but
Yes.
you have done modeling. You want to talk about that?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
So I do modeling for this girl. I went to the beach with her. We did a beach model.
Okay.
Then we did a Halloween, a Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a model too, aside from being an actress.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So you got 3 things. You can play the piano, you can model, you can act. Have you ever had a really funny role? I'm just wondering. I know people like to laugh. So far, it seems like most of these roles have been kind of frictional. Not
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well that's fine, because I want to see you do something funny though. I want to see you in a comedy someday. You like to laugh, right? You like making people laugh. Okay, there we go. We're laughing now. Well, guess what? Guess what, Molly, Jane, McCarthy? We got 5 minutes to go. We made the half hour go by. So what I want you to do is, if you would, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I'm going to ask you to give shouts out to people. I know what that means. Like say hi. You can say hi to your friends, because at school, or people that even the people that you're going to be working with in films. I'm sure you've made some good friends on sets, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to say hi to people, go ahead, and then we'll wrap up the show. You think that includes your family? Your mom's right here. You can say hi to her. She won't miss that.
Hi, Mom, Dad, and Grandma. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really happy that I'm in this right now. I hope you see this.
Yeah, well, that was great. That was awesome. Okay, so right now you got nothing lined up, but you're gonna go see that premiere tomorrow. And do they have like private screenings too? Do you know for these films?
Yes.
They do. Okay. Have you? So I take it you've gone to a lot of them.
Right.
Private
Here,
screenings.
yes.
You know what I mean? Where you
Yeah.
have just people. You know. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming in tonight. You were a wonderful guest. I know, it's a little tough to interview somebody that's not, that's hasn't been around as long, but you did great. I hope you had a good time. I hope we covered most of the stuff. And what we're going to do is that we're going to put your demo reel on the show so people can see that, and that'll be great. So, on that note, let me ask you a question. Are you ready to? You didn't snap the fingers when I did it the first time. You don't have to, but if you want to, I'm just saying we're about to wrap it up. If you want to snap your fingers with me when we do a wrap it up like I do every week, you can. If not, that's fine too.
I don't know how to snap. So
That's okay.
yeah.
Well, in that case, on that note, we're going to wrap up the show tonight. Thanks for watching with more great guests. See you next time. Take care. Here we go. Yeah, you got it. Pick it right up. She has got it, folks. Now there's something else you can do. You can snap too.